Your remote assignment for the day today is to keep working on this virtual food web that we started in class. Just a few reminders. In order to access the slides, you have to click this Google Sheets that has where you signed up to work with a partner. So I just want to talk about working with a partner remotely for a moment. This assignment is not due until Tuesday the 13th. If you are in cohort A, you need to have up to slide number 5 completed by the time you come to class. We will do the last slide in class. If you are in cohort B, please have up to slide 5 completed by Tuesday, because on Tuesday you will be completing the last slide remotely. So if you get all the work done before Tuesday, that means on Tuesday you will just have one slide to do in this assignment. There will be another assignment posted on Tuesday if you are in cohort B, so please don't wait to the last minute to get it done. However, I have given you lots of flexibility to coordinate with your partners for when you want to do this, because I know some people said you wanted to work with a partner, and I want to encourage that. So you have all of today, you have all of the long weekend to get up to slide number 5 done with your partner. The other thing I want to mention, that if you choose to work with a partner while you are remotely, I am going to ask you to fill out this collaboration reflection, so that way I know what you and your partner did, how you divided up the work, and whether or not you feel that both you and your partner contributed equally to this assignment while you are working remotely. I also want to note that Google tracks all of your edits to these slides. So if you said you wanted to work with a partner, but your partner is the one who does all the work in the slides, and I see those edits, that it was just your partner making those edits, then I know that you did not contribute to the assignment. If you had a different role, maybe you were a reader in the assignment, you read information about the organisms to your partner, and your partner did all the manipulating of the arrows and the pictures and the slides. That's why I have you sign in the Google form, because just in case you had a different role that was more reading and guiding, and you didn't do much of the clicking and stuff on Google Slides, that's why I have you fill out the Google form that explains what your job was and how you contributed to the assignment. So now we're going to get into how to do this assignment. This is going to be review, especially for those of you who are in cohort A, who just did this with me yesterday. But for those of you in cohort B, it's been a little while, so I'd like to quickly go over it with you. First of all, the information that you need in order to make your food web can be found in this document here, the Rainforest Organisms Information page. So this has all of the plants and animals and decomposers that have to be included in your food web, what they eat, and who eats it. So for example, insects eat plants, and then birds, monkeys, and peccaries all eat insects. You need to have this page open as you are making your food web, so that way you know where your arrows are supposed to go. Next, you're going to go to the document that has your partner signups with your names and your partner's names. You're going to find your name and the number, your group number, and then you're going to click on the link that matches with your group number. I'm just going to use group 17 since no one has signed up for group 17 yet. You're going to click on that and it'll pull up your slides. The first thing you're going to do is type you and your partner's name here if you haven't already done so. Slide 2 has the instructions. Your task will be to create a food web based on different feeding relationships in a rainforest. This link, I'm sorry, if you click on it, it's not going to bring anything up, but this link does direct you right to that first document that we went over that tells you all the feeding information. So I know you can't click on the link, but just use the copy of the handout that's in Google Classroom. The next slide has images of the plants and animals. You're going to drag and drop the photos of the animals into the slide and then copy paste this arrow into the next slide as many times as you need to make the connections in the food web, and you can move and resize the arrow as needed to help you create the food web. So if you go to slide number 3, here's your food web. Now some of you, when you pull up the food web, might notice that it's zoomed in and you can't actually see the pictures. But if you zoom out to 50%, you will definitely see the pictures. Then what you're going to do is drag and drop the pictures and copy paste the arrows. So my tip is to start with the plants and then make the connections to all the herbivores first, and then the omnivores, and then the carnivores. Okay. So you take the pictures and drag them in. We're going to start with our plants. And let's take an herbivore. Here's insects. So now you need to get an arrow to go in between them. So you're going to go back to slide number 2. You're going to click on the arrow, and then you're going to hit edit, copy. A quick way to copy it is to hit Control on your keyboard, on your Chromebook, C, and that'll copy it right away. All right, then you go back to slide number 3, and you click edit, paste, and there's your arrow. Another hack, if you want to paste quickly, click Control V, and that saves you an extra step from clicking edit and paste over and over. You can just click Control V a bunch of times, and that'll give you a bunch of arrows for your food web. So now you need to move the arrows around and point them to the animals. So what you do is you select an arrow and you can drag it. And then this blue circle here, when you put your cursor over it, should turn into a plus sign like this. This will allow you to point the arrow in different directions and spin it around and resize it. You want to make sure it connects to the animal. And remember, the direction your arrow is pointing matters. The arrow always points to the animal that eats that item to show the flow of energy. So the insect eats the plants. And then we got to add another arrow from our other plant. And we also connect it to the insect. And there's our start of our food web. Just some things to point out. Your food web should only have one photo of each animal, but have many arrows going to and from those animals. So most of you left off in class working on your food web. I'm not sure many of you got to the food chain part, but for the food chain, you are going to do what we did in class in the notes. You're going to look at the food web you created and you're going to follow one pathway in the food web in order to make a food chain. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste the organisms from your food web into this slide. So for example, I'm going to click on the plant. Then once again, you can hit edit, copy, or I could hit Control C. Then I go to this slide and hit edit, paste, or Control V. Then I go back again, Control C, Control V. And then I also want to put an arrow in between these, so I'm going to go back to this slide and get another arrow. And this one I'm going to make it small and put it in between these two. So I would do this, and then I would find something that eats the insect, and then find another animal that eats the thing that ate the insect. And then I will drag and drop these trophic level labels underneath each picture to label it like the food chain that's in your notes with the mouse and the snake and the hawk. Finally, you're going to copy and paste the image of 2 animals from your food web that could be more than one trophic level. So in class, we talked about how omnivores, for example, can be primary consumers or secondary consumers, depending on what they eat. So there's your hint. Find 2 omnivores and copy paste their pictures into this slide. So get up to slide number 5 completed by Tuesday. You do not have to turn it in on Tuesday, but have up to slide 5 done. So that way, when you come to class or when you have your remote day on Tuesday, if you are cohort B, all you have to do is this last slide. I'm going to post the instructions for how to do this last slide in the assignment for that Tuesday remote day. If you have any questions on how to do this, please send me an email, or we can do a private Zoom with you and your partner if you need help. Good luck, everyone, and enjoy your long weekend.